The worst part of high school, in case you don't know, is dealing with a mean girl. Now, if you've never had this experience, you might not be able to relate or see the gravity and the importance of that movie. I have dealt with a mean girl in high school, and I know how traumatizing it is. This is not the video where I'm going to narrate my experience, no. But I want you to quickly go down to the comments and let me know if you've dealt with a mean girl and what your experience was. The most difficult part of this is the fact that you cannot avoid them. You see them everywhere. It's worse if they're like your roommate or your classmate. And I want to talk a little bit about why the Mean Girls movie is very accurate in describing how bad things can be for students in school. And the interesting thing we have to realize about people like this is that they're usually in cliques and they always have minions. Like, it's never friends who can challenge them or call them out. No. It's the weak ones, the ones that they can tell to jump and they'll say like, how high? Hi, my name is Susan. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, how's it going? Regina George in Mean Girls does not exactly appear like a scary girl. In fact, you might initially feel like she's pleasant and can't hurt a fly until you find out that she's not. The thing about Regina George is that she was able to evoke a lot of complicated feelings from people around her. I have to give this to her because I think this was the only thing to learn from someone like this and why she was respected in the school.
I hear her hair is insured for $10,000.
I hear she does car commercials in Japan.
People hated her, people loved her, people worshipped her simply because she was not trying to get liked by everyone. She was never like trying to get people's approval. She was literally creating her own world in the school, you know, where she literally had followers and people that feared her and people that dared not cross her. I guess that's something to learn if you are looking to be that kind of leader in any space. On this video, I really want to talk about all the reasons why this girl led by a lot of manipulation tactics.
Get in, loser, we're going shopping. I can't go to Taco Bell. I'm on an all-carb diet. God, Karen, you are so stupid.
A lot of people that get trapped in this kind of circles don't exactly know why. They just find out that they are stuck there, and it's because of some of these manipulation tricks that people like Regina George use on people that are in their circles. There's no leader without a follower. Let's get that straight. First of all, there's no leader without a follower. So Regina George without Karen and Gretchen was a nobody. Okay, she would not exist in that school with that much power without Karen and Gretchen, or without people like Karen and Gretchen. So she had no power alone. And people like Regina, you know, literally need people who worship them around them. You can't be someone that is exactly like Regina and be in her circle. Any head with two crowns or two horns is a monster, right? So the plastics actually thrived. They thrived because they were an exclusive group. And not only did this boost their ego, it made people like their schoolmates fear them and secretly want to be like them. They clearly were not equals in this group. Regina made them happy enough to always want to be around her, but not confident enough to challenge her in any way. And so one of the most important things that Regina did with people to get them into a circle or to make them stuck in her space was her charm, right? She gave people compliments to make them feel nice and warm around her. Remember when she gave that girl, she complimented that girl's skirt, but literally in the next second she told Katie that that was the worst skirt that she had ever seen.
Oh my God, I love your skirt. Where did you get it?
It was my mom's in the 80s.
Vintage. So adorable.
Thanks.
That is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen.
Giving fake compliments like this was Regina's MO. She did this to people so that they cared about her approval. Even though, you know, she didn't mean it, she knew that she could score a point emotionally with whoever she does this to. The next very obvious thing that she did was put her friends against each other. She would tell Katie something and bad about Gretchen, do the same thing to Gretchen about Katie. And so it was the classic divide and conquer method. By keeping her friends fighting each other, no one would have any reason to question her because they'll be too busy fighting themselves. I'm sure a lot of people have actually had this experience sometime in their life. You have this friend that's always like trying to stir the pot, trying to cause trouble with your mutual friend. You know, now you might begin to wonder that maybe they are the drama. Okay, maybe there's actually no problem with that other friend and they're just trying to cause trouble. They're just trying to manipulate you guys so that they always have your attention.
Aren't you so mad at Gretchen for telling me? I'm not mad. I mean, I guess she just likes the attention.
See, Gretchen, I told you she's not mad at you.
I can't believe you think I like attention.
Okay, love ya. See you tomorrow.
If you recall the burn book, that was also one of the things that Regina had to do to make sure that people had a healthy sense of fear for this girl. The fear of being on the burn book basically kept people in line. And Regina's third move was also making people feel like they belonged. This was something that, you know, would literally keep you stuck having a friend like her. She gave you enough validation to keep you hooked, but not enough to let you feel secure. And Gretchen's entire personality, we would say, and I'll do a video later about Gretchen. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see. Gretchen's entire personality was literally about pleasing Regina. Even when Regina would embarrass her or talk down at her, like she did with the fetch thing, you know, where she would be like, hey, stop making fetchy thing. It's never going to be a thing.
That is so fetch. Gretchen, stop trying to make fetch happen. It's not going to happen.
And Gretchen was supposed to be like her second, I keep doing this, I'm sorry. And Gretchen was supposed to be like her second in command. Technically, you're not supposed to embarrass your second in command in front of every other person, right? This was how she kept Gretchen in check, you know, by also making her believe that she was not above being reprimanded by Regina. Gretchen was embarrassed by this, but in a weird way, she was still always just glad to be there. You know, she was glad to be in Regina's circle. I know this might just be overlooked and not thought much of, but the truth is a lot of people are actually like this, especially if you are inherently a people pleaser. You're in a circle with some people you don't like, but you find hard to leave. One, because you do not want to hurt them, and two, because you don't want to be alone. You know what? I have to say, like, it is not worth it. Losing your peace of mind, your entire self, just to fit in is never ever worth it. And leaving such spaces is actually one of the best things you can do for yourself. Another manipulative tactic that Regina pulled was weaponizing her vulnerability. When she saw that girls were like no longer on her side, she put herself in one book and then implied that the girls were the one that did it, when she herself was the mastermind behind the book. You have to understand that people like Regina are actors, like natural born actors. They can cry on demand and it's so hard to ignore someone crying, right? But this was exactly what made Regina the biggest mean girl. She abused that power. Bottom line here is that Regina paints a picture of what manipulative people are very likely to do. It's sometimes very hard to tell because they could actually be very nice when you meet them for the first time. They act like you're the most interesting thing they've ever met, the most interesting person you've ever met, but really, they're probably not that nice. Now, obviously, this doesn't mean that everyone that gives you a compliment has ulterior motives or is a mean girl like Regina. I mean, I think the important thing is to go with your guts to figure out who is manipulative. And I think that it's always fair to give people the benefit of the doubt for a few times before, you know, getting a sense of their actual character. What's one thing that you have seen, like what's one tactic that you saw with Regina in this movie that you've seen in real life with someone that maybe is your friend or you consider a mean girl? I'm not saying your friend's a mean girl or maybe she is, I don't know, but like, let me know in the comments what's one thing that you see in common that maybe someone that you know in real life as a mean girl has with Regina. I think it's helpful to talk about things like this so that people can identify patterns. Sometimes being in circles like this is manipulative, right? Like you never actually see it coming until you open your eyes because there's a way that you're just kept in, right? You're not able to come out of such spaces. So please share your experience. Let me know in the comments. I'm super excited to read and hear from you. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.